Hello, welcome to another FPL preview video. This is the preview video for Game Week 13. This is -4 points where we follow my FPL journey, and things aren't going as smoothly as I'd like. I do feel like my team is a bit of a mess. I am slowly slipping down the ranks. I don't like how my team is. There's just too many fires to put out. Last week I did a -4. It didn't quite pay off. I'll show you that why. We'll be looking at my watch list, the players who are on my eye for the future, and I'll be showing you my team for Game Week 13. So let's start the story that we're sharing my FPL pain basically. This is slowly becoming more of a what not to do YouTube series. However, it's about having fun. We're having fun with FPL. We're staying motivated. We're going to keep going even though there's many fires to put out in my team. Let's take a look at some of the fires that need to be put out. Let's review how I did last week in Game Week 12. So this is how I did in Game Week 12. 60 points, which what is average. I think the average was about 56 or 57, so just above the average. Which, it's okay, but if you want to be competitive, if I'm trying to move up in my mini leagues, if I want to make my overall rank go up, I need to be doing better than that. My overall rank dropped slightly, so now I'm down to 450k. I'm not happy with that. The team is sliding a little bit. I don't feel like it's in a good place. Last week I did 2 transfers. I brought in Kane because I thought Tottenham starting an easy set of fixtures. Conte's manager, new manager bounce. Kane scored international goals in the break. Thought he'd come back with some confidence. Didn't quite work out. And I brought in Gallagher. So I took a -4 points last week to bring in Kane and Gallagher. And yes, Gallagher got 5 points, which is okay. But I brought in Kane for Tony. Tony scored. So after me having Tony for about 100 weeks where he didn't score, didn't do anything, I take Tony out. And obviously, this is how FPL works, family. This is how it works. You take out a player who's been blanking, and that's how he stops blanking. So, Kane came in for Tony, and that was bad. That therefore means the -4 points wasn't worth taking. And if this video is slowly becoming more of a what not to do in fantasy football, maybe that can be this week's theme, what not to do in fantasy football. -4 point hits, you've got to be certain they're going to work. And that's what I need to learn. My team is not in a good place. However, I need to stop taking -4 point hits. I need to fix it slowly. And the good thing about the international break is that it gives you time to think. But the bad thing about the international break is you have too much time to think. I think if it was just a 1 week, I might have just done 1 transfer. Maybe I would have given Tony an extra a week. I would have given Tony a chance, I think, and then thought I'll bring Kane in once he starts scoring. But because there was the international break and Kane scored so many goals against, yes, weak teams, but he's scoring goals and they have the new manager bounce, I'm thinking, I'm overthinking things. So the good thing about the Christmas fixtures, the good thing about December is there's loads of FPL games. So you don't have to take -4 point hits really. You can kind of do 1 transfer and then 3 days later there's another game week and you can do another transfer. So that's what my strategy is now. Going forward into December, I'm stopping taking -4 point hits. Even if, and this is a little bit new for me, even if my team needs the transfer, even if I've got an injured player, I think I'm going to just experiment with having 0 points from a player. Like they're injured, I'll be like, okay, I'm just going to have 0 points from that player rather than take the -4 point hit. I'll try that for December and then we'll see how it goes. So that's what we're doing with. Let's take a look at Game Week 12. Steele came in and annoyingly didn't keep a clean sheet. Disappointed with Steele. Back out the team you go. In comes Sanchez back next week. He was keeping a clean sheet and at the end of the game they just collapsed and Villa scored twice. So 2 points from Steele. Trent, as always, delivered. Livramento did well. Chilwell did well. No, Livramento didn't do well, sorry. 1 point from Livramento, not so great. And Chilwell did well. Diaz didn't play. So my plan was to have 4 at the back. I thought Livramento had an easy game. I expected a clean sheet from Livramento. And Diaz not playing, I think is big. That's the second time this season now, in a short period of time it feels, where Diaz has been dropped. Diaz is not this solid asset that Pep will always rely on. I think Laporte's come in and looking good. Stones is back and Pep likes Stones. So Stones, Laporte and Diaz are kind of going to be rotating, and especially at Christmas with loads of fixtures, Diaz is not a safe pick. So if you've got Diaz in your team, you need to be thinking of getting rid of Diaz. That's what I think. In midfield, Salah captain, I was happy with that. Salah scored. Smith Rowe, Gallagher, who I brought in, got the assist, was happy with that. I think Gallagher going forward with Crystal Palace's nice fixtures, Gallagher's a good player to have. And Allen came off the bench because Rafinha didn't play. I thought Rafinha would play. I think because of the international break, possibly he was rested, possibly he has a slight injury. He has been seen training this week, so I'm hoping Rafinha is back. I'm keeping Rafinha just for a little bit longer. But I do see why people are taking him out of their teams now and why people aren't bringing Rafinha in. But for me, he's staying in because the team is ablaze with fire. I don't have Cancelo. I don't have Reece James as of last week. Chilwell is now injured. I have too much money in my strikers. There's too many fires here. So Rafinha is probably going to stay for a few weeks. And up front, Kane didn't deliver. Gelhardt came off the bench. I was watching the Leeds game and Gelhardt played like he started the game and I was thinking maybe Gelhardt's coming off my bench. Maybe he gets a goal. Maybe he nicks something. And I think he had like 2 shots and so didn't do anything. And Ronaldo got a 5 points. Happy with that from Ronaldo. Ronaldo has Chelsea next week and possibly I'd be thinking of getting rid of him. But as of today, Man United have just announced that they have a new manager now till the end of the season. So maybe the new manager bounce will make Ronaldo score more. Maybe Man United assets are going to become more valuable now. We'll see how the new manager does. But seeing as I already have Ronaldo in my team, I think it's silly to take him out. Yes, they have Chelsea next, but then the fixtures get better for them. They have the new manager, so I'm keeping Ronaldo. I'm going to see what happens. The overall rank dropped, so that it was a red arrow last week. Gameweek rank wasn't great. It was average, out of 8 million so players, 3.7 million as Gameweek rank. It's an average week for me. And my overall points is now on 753. So that's how I did in Gameweek 12. Let's take a look at my watch list. These are players who I've got my eye on, who I've not brought in this week, but who I want to bring in the future. So this is my watch list for Gameweek 13. First one is Reguilon. Now, I've not brought in Reguilon this week, and I'm very tempted. If the old me would have brought in Reguilon this week, but I'm not doing a -4 point hit, even though I've got an injured player. And Reguilon would be a great player to bring in. I'm also slightly on the fence with Reguilon. I don't fully know how solid Spurs are going to be at the back. Yes, he's going to be attacking. So everyone's saying that Conte is now going to be playing wing backs. And it'll be like at Chelsea when he had Alonso, Victor Moses, who are really attacking. And they were so great for FPL. But they kept clean sheets. I don't still know if Spurs are going to be keeping clean sheets. Yes, he scored last week, but Reguilon doesn't score every week. And if they're not keeping clean sheets, with the likes of Cancelo and the Chelsea defenders and Trent, I just think there could be better attacking defenders than Reguilon. Even though Reguilon is an exciting player, will be attacking more, I'm still waiting to see that Spurs defence keep a few more clean sheets before I think about getting Reguilon in my team. But firmly on the watch list. He's at 5.1 as well, so he's cheaper than the likes of Trent and the Chelsea players and the City players. So Reguilon's very appealing. I think I need one more sort of a big week from him to tempt me to get him. I am still just going to hold for him for now. The next one is Benteke. Now, I have Ronaldo and Kane up front, so I've got so much money in my strikers. It's very tempting to take one of them out and put in someone like Benteke. I think it's between Benteke, possibly Wilson and St. Maximin at Newcastle, if Eddie Howe gets them going, and the other player on the list is Watkins. So I think they're the 4 strikers at that price range that I'm considering. Possibly Pukki, but I looked at Pukki's fixtures and they do get difficult. So Benteke is definitely someone I'm considering. I have Gallagher in my team, and I think if you have Gallagher, do you want to double up on Palace attacking assets? Possibly. I think I'm going to keep my eye on Benteke. He's never really been a consistent player in the Premier League that I can remember where he's put 3 or 4 good weeks in a row. He does good things and then blanks and then good things. So I'm waiting to see on Benteke. The thing in his favour is his price and his fixtures. Palace have good fixtures, so it could be worth doubling down on him. I'm just going to wait and see, because he had a good week last week. I'm just going to see how he does this week. If he goes back to the old Benteke that doesn't look interested, that doesn't return, he might go off the watch list. But for now, Benteke is someone I'm firmly keeping an eye on. The next player on the watch list is Stones. Now, a lot of people are going for Cancelo. A lot of people have Diaz. I think with the Christmas fixtures coming up, they're going to be rotating. I think with the Chelsea defenders as well, a lot of people are thinking about getting Alonso in now because Chilwell's injured. But I do think someone like Rudiger for Chelsea, someone like Stones for City, they're not going to be as attacking. But with the rotation over December, they're maybe more likely to play more games than the attacking players. So, and even if they don't, they're cheaper. So Stones is a lot cheaper than Cancelo. So you could have both to kind of be safe. There's going to be weeks in December where our players aren't all playing. There's going to be players where we have, say, Trent Alexander-Arnold, we have Reece James, and James doesn't play one game. There's going to be games where James doesn't play. There's going to be games where Cancelo doesn't play. So part of me thinks, why not go for slightly cheaper players on those teams? And then when they don't play, it's less of a damage if you spread the cost out. Or why not have both? Why not have your cheap defender be Stones, and maybe he gets a game and have them both? It's just something I think that's worth thinking about. Pep does like Stones, and recently Stones has been playing more than Diaz, so possibly Diaz to Stones could be a good option for some people. The next player is Watkins. I think with Gerrard coming in at Villa, he looked so pumped up at the weekend. Villa looked... Gerrard was on the sideline screaming. It just felt right. It felt like Gerrard, even the way Gerrard handles himself in press conferences, he knows what he's doing. He's smooth, he's charismatic. He's got a good team there. And if he gets Villa playing, Watkins could be a great option. Watkins played most of the game, scored a goal. I do think Watkins could be the one to play. And the last one is Cornet, who is still going at Burnley. Scored again. Cornet looks like a good player. He's playing midfield. He's playing up front. He was on the watch list last week. I'm still considering Cornet. He could be a great option. The only problem for me is I've got too many players at that price range in midfield at the moment. I've got Gallagher. I've got Rafinha. I've got Smith Rowe. Cornet kind of is at that price range, and I'm already looking at other midfielders like Foden, like Jota, like there's other midfielders I'm considering, and it is Burnley. It's still putting me off, even though Cornet seems to be delivering. A part of me is still going, but it's Burnley. I mean, how long can they keep a good run of fixtures going? Will they be fighting relegation soon? So for now, just because I've got other transfers to make, I'm not bringing in Cornet. But if I had the luxury of my team not being ablaze on fire, I would look at possibly bringing Cornet in for Rafinha, because better fixtures, better form. So yeah, but I can't bring him in. I can't bring in Cornet yet, unfortunately. So they're the 5 players that I picked for my watch list this week. Let's take a look at the one transfer I have done this week, and let's take a look at my team for game week 13. This is the team for game week 13. Sanchez is back in goal. Get out, Steele. Sanchez is back in. Hopefully Leeds at home, possibly a clean sheet. Well, you never know. In defence, Trent, Tierney. Now, Tierney's a funny one. I don't like having him in my team. I wish I didn't have Tierney. He hasn't played a few games. He's always seems to be injured. However, they've got Newcastle at home, and I'm hoping that Tierney didn't play the last game because it was after an international break, and he has been coming back from an injury. So maybe Tierney was rested because of that. If Tierney doesn't play again this week against Newcastle at home, I'll seriously be thinking of getting rid of him, because if he's not first team, then, there's White who's cheaper. There's the other Arsenal wing-backs who are cheaper. There's other players who I'd like to bring in for Tierney. But for now, I'm hoping Tierney plays. It's a bit of a punt. It is Newcastle at home, so if he plays, he could get a clean sheet. So Tierney's in the team. James is my transfer this week. So I took Diaz out. Like I said earlier in the video, Diaz, I don't like having Diaz anymore. I don't feel like he's a safe asset. The only reason, back when I got Diaz, right at the beginning of the season, I got him over Cancelo, which was a huge mistake. I did it for financial reasons. I couldn't afford Cancelo, and I could afford Diaz. And Diaz at the time seemed like the safest pick. It didn't play out. That's been a huge mistake for my season. It's been a big learning thing. In the future, if you can't afford the player, maybe wait a week and do another transfer to afford the move you ideally want to make. Diaz hasn't worked out, so Diaz is out. Reece James is in. I think even though they have Man United, which could be a difficult fixture, Reece James is looking on fire. He scored midweek against Juventus in the Champions League. He looks like the best right back in the world. I don't see any other right backs in the world who are on better form than Reece James. So for me, Reece James has to be in and will probably stay till the end of the season. Hopefully he doesn't get injured. Hopefully he doesn't get any suspensions. Yeah, Reece James is in. And the other, Chilwell's in the team. Now, Chilwell's not going to play. I'm not expecting Chilwell to play. However, we still don't, as of today, we don't definitely know how long Chilwell's out for. I think I'll be getting rid of Chilwell next week. I just want to fully make sure how serious this injury is. They're saying it could be the end of the year. They're saying it could be the end of the season. I think it will be bad. I think I'll get Chilwell out. However, I don't want to do a -4, and I really want Reece James. And I can't take out Chilwell for James. I can't afford that. All my money was used last week. I had nothing in the bank. So my dilemma was, do I take Chilwell out for a cheaper defender, but then I don't get Reece James, who I really want? So the only way I could bring in James was by taking Diaz out. So James is coming in for Diaz, and Chilwell will come out next week. And he'll come off the bench, and Allen against Brentford away. It's not the greatest fixture, but possibly a clean sheet, maybe an assist if I'm lucky. So no Chilwell, but he's in the starting lineup. Out of respect, Chilwell, you're staying in my starting lineup because you're still in my heart. You'll probably come out next week for Alonso or Reguilon, or maybe I'll try and work a way of getting Cancelo in, because I still don't have Cancelo, which is a massive thing. Man City have West Ham this week, which is why I wasn't rushing to Cancelo this week. That's a tricky fixture. He might not necessarily keep a clean sheet. But ideally, I'd like to jig Tierney and Chilwell around so that I could get them both out, get Cancelo and a cheaper defender. We'll see how that works out. We'll see what happens. We'll see what FPL throws at us. There could be more injuries. There could be more, all of a sudden Tierney might score a hat-trick against Newcastle, and I'll be saying Tierney needs to stay. So that's the defence for this week. Salah will be captain as always. Southampton at home is a great fixture for him. Smith Rowe, Newcastle at home, another good fixture. Gallagher, Villa at home, and Rafinha. I'm hoping Rafinha plays. He's a 75% chance, I think, the game has of playing. He has been seen training, so I'm hoping Rafinha plays. If Rafinha doesn't play, then Livramento against Liverpool away is going to have to come in. And again, that could just be another 1 point. So I'm really hoping Rafinha plays and does well. A lot of people have taken Rafinha out of their teams, so if he plays, it could be a real good differential for me. So I'm really hoping Rafinha plays. And up front, it's still Ronaldo and Kane. Kane has Burnley away, Ronaldo has Chelsea away. I'm not expecting much from either of those two, to be honest. Burnley have looked good this season, so Kane's going to have to be up for it if he wants to get some goals. And Tottenham have Europa League, and I think Kane has travelled with the squad in the Tottenham's European game, so that's not going to be good. And Ronaldo has Chelsea away, and Chelsea have been so good defensively, so we'll see. I think with my strikers, I'd like to change them, but at the moment, my transfer this week was James. So the strikers are going to have to stay for another week. I'm only doing one transfer this week. I don't want to take a -4 hit again because it didn't work last week. It didn't work the week before. So squad value is healthy. Only got 0.1 in the bank, which is restricting what I can do. But yeah, one transfer available, one transfer done. I hope it stays like this. Follow me on Twitter at -4 points, where I'll reveal before the deadline my final team. Maybe I'll be tempted to do another transfer. I hope not. I'm going to try and stay strong. I'm going to try and keep my team like this, even though it's not ideal. Chilwell's not ideal. Rafinha's not ideal. 2 strikers with too much money up front's not ideal. However, we're sticking with it. Let's see how it goes. Good luck with your Game Week 13s. Let me know in the comments what you're doing, what you think of my team, how you think I can put out these fires. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, and like I said, good luck with your Game Week 13s.